Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Febuary, and today I'm doing Game Week 22 predictions of the Barclays Premier League. And we're going to be starting off on the 3rd of February, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge against Fulham FC. And I'm saying 2-1 to Chelsea. It's going to be a very tight game, I think. Obviously, last time Fulham played Chelsea, which was very recently, they actually won at 2-1 at Craven Cottage. But now it's at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have the home advantage. They signed Enzo Fernandez for 121 million euros. The Argentina World Cup winner. Played fantastic in the World Cup. But I assume he's going to be a really good replacement for Jorginho. And also Banladishli. I still cannot pronounce that name. But his first couple of games in the Premier League, he's gotten clean sheets twice in his 2 games. So he's obviously playing absolutely magnificent for Chelsea in defence. And really, Chelsea, I can't see them performing really bad again. Loads of bad performances have been coming in, and they're going to finally get that good performance here at their home ground. It's coming. Moving on to the next day, 4th of February, it's Everton at Goodison Park facing Arsenal. It's going to be 2-0 to Arsenal. 100% easy. Everton, everything's going wrong at Everton. They've lost Anthony Gordon, and obviously in the summer they lost Richarlison. It's going all pear-shaped for them. And well, I think Sean Dyche is confirmed to be their new manager, I believe. I think their performance will improve slightly, but I don't think it's enough to stay up. And against Arsenal, Arsenal should have a walk in the park there against Everton. Moving on to the next game, it's Brighton and Hove Albion home against Bournemouth. And I'm going to predict this one 2-1 to Brighton. Now, I think Bournemouth, they're not staying up. They've had some terrible performances. Brighton beat Liverpool 2-1. Obviously, Liverpool aren't doing as well. Well, Brighton seems to be doing really well as well at the home ground. I cannot see Bournemouth getting anything from this game against this Brighton side. Moving on to the next game, Manchester United at home against Crystal Palace. Quite recently, these two teams did actually play, and it was a 1-1 draw. And last time out, Manchester United did lose 3-2 to Arsenal, but Arsenal, it's Arsenal. They're top of the league. Manchester United are obviously going to struggle there. Against Crystal Palace at home, the way Manchester United are playing recently is absolutely fantastic. 2-0 to Manchester United. Moving on to the next game, it's Brentford versus Southampton. And now actually Brentford do have the joint most draws with Newcastle United in the league. And I'm going for this one to be a 1-1 draw. I know Southampton have signed Orsic, which is a great signing. And really their signings, they've been alright, Southampton, their signings. And I think Brentford have the most draws. I think this could be a 1-1. Southampton are going to really put effort away from home. And well, they did get to semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, which is pretty decent for a 20th place Premier League side. Moving on to the next game, Wolverhampton Wanderers are at home against Liverpool. And well, I think this could go either way. 2-1 to Liverpool though. I'm going to have to back up Liverpool, because they are a better side. They've just had a lot of injuries. You know, with Virgil van Dijk not being there, that is crucial. They've been playing James Milner in defence, which he's had his time. And he's 35? I don't know, but he's very old and he's not playing magnificent football for them anymore. But really, Liverpool's depth isn't that good, and when they get injuries, this is what happens to the club. But I'm going to have to back up Liverpool because Wolves are in a lower position. And Liverpool, when I compare these two sides, Liverpool will just come out on top. Moving on to the next game, Aston Villa are at our home ground against Leicester City. 3-2 to Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa, obviously, Emery, absolutely fantastic. You know, he brought in a couple of players, Alex Moreno and John Duran, the young 19-year-old. There's a couple of decent businesses there. But Leicester City have signed Harry Souttar for 17 million euros from Stoke City. And really, the 24-year-old centre-back, I think that's a decent signing, you know. From my memory, he played pretty decent in the World Cup for Australia, which is really good. And really, he's only 24, so he's definitely got some improvement. And I think, you know, he did play championship football, but the way he played in the World Cup, and I think he might be able to adapt to this Premier League football and really help Leicester. I think he will slowly develop throughout this year and become that Premier League player that Leicester City need. But the main thing Leicester City did not do is bring in a goalkeeper, which I think they have to do. I don't think they're getting relegated because they got James Maddison, Telemans, Harvey Barnes, all those great players. Just But in this game against Aston Villa, they're going to lose because Enray's been absolutely fantastic with Aston Villa. Moving on to the next game, it's Newcastle United, my favourite team, against West Ham United. And I'm going to go for a tight 1-0 win to Newcastle. And I think Newcastle are probably getting a clean sheet or scoring very little in this game because they've got the best defence. But, on the other hand, this could easily be a draw because Newcastle have the joint most draws in the Premier League with Brentford, as I did mention earlier on in the video. But Newcastle, I saw the highlights of the Southampton game, and they looked really fast and slick football, which is absolutely fantastic. They just look unstoppable at the moment. And really, we're only one loss against Liverpool early on in the season, especially it being St James's Park here against West Ham, or quite low down in the league. I know in the past couple of games West Ham have been starting to perform. This could easily go for a draw. I don't think West Ham will get a win, but I'm just backing up Newcastle because how well they're being at the moment. Moving on to the next game, which is a whole new day, the 5th of February. And it's going to be Nottingham Forest at home against Leeds United. A very hard game to predict, this one. And I'm just going for a draw 1-1 because it's so hard. Nottingham Forest at home, they've brought in Navas, which is probably their biggest signing in January. They already signed a whole new team this summer. Now they're bringing in Navas, John Shelvey and Chris Wood. To be honest, this might just be me, but I think John Shelvey is really underrated. I think he'd play absolutely fantastic for Nottingham Forest if he gets into the team. Against Leeds United, I think this could be a win for Nottingham Forest because they're at their home ground. But because Leeds, McKennie coming in is a fantastic signing. And Wobber, for their defence Leeds, is their best defender. Absolutely fantastic for Leeds when he did play against Brentford. And against Nottingham, Leeds have also bringing in McKennie, which fits into the side, the atmosphere he loves. And he's also already got some friends like Tyler Adams, Aronson, and Jesse March as a manager. He's going to fit in really nicely. He's going to really give Leeds something massive. And I think Leeds are going to slowly turn around. But this game is going to be a draw. They're very close in the league. They're very close in the quality of the two sides. Moving on to the next game, Spurs are at home against Manchester City. I'm predicting this a 2-2 draw. Man City. João Cancelo left the club on a loan to buy option in the summer, going over to Bayern. That's a big player missed, and they have not replaced them, but they do have good depth. But recently, their form's been a bit all over the place. They are still a good team, and I think they probably will finish second or third. I don't think they're winning the league over Arsenal. And they've got Erling Haaland in this game, which is a crucial player against Spurs, who have signed a new right-back, which is a really, really good signing. I think it's called Porro. It's a good signing. They need a defender, Spurs, and they signed that defender that they need. Going against Man City with Benduka, Kulusevski, Harry Kane, Son, I assume they're all fit. But those four players there, plus this new signing as well, if the new signing can play, it's a fantastic Spurs side, which I think could finish in maybe a Champions League spot. I don't think they will this year. I think they'll finish more like 5th. But at their home ground against Man City, it's all over the place. Definitely could be a close game. I'm just going for a draw. And that is all my predictions done. But before I do end this video, I'm going to see how I did in the last week. And last week, I actually predicted 12 games because of the postponed games in Game Week 7. The extra games I did also predict. And overall, I got 7 points out of 24 points, which is pretty poor. And overall, throughout the whole predictions this year, I've gotten 122 points out of 398 points. I would say it's been a non-successful year for my predicting. But stop about that, I will end the video here. Hopefully you can like and subscribe. And always remember to turn on notifications to never miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I will see you next time. Toodaloo now.